Well, good morning everyone. Can I start by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which this event is taking place and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Can I of course acknowledge my colleagues here today. It's great to have the Treasurer here, Minister Hinchcliffe, and of course it's good to see our former Minister Kate Jones. We could almost have a mini subcommittee meeting here if you were still in government. And we miss her, but she's doing a great job in tech. Can I of course acknowledge Ms Robin Denholm, Chair of Tech Council of Australia. Can I acknowledge Paul Fletcher, Federal Member for Bradfield, Julia Spicer, our Queensland Chief Entrepreneur, board members of the Tech Council of Australia, Directors General, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, one and all. It's interesting that these pictures are happening now in the lead up to the Olympic and Paralympic Games, and we just came from a breakfast where we announced our procurement policy, and one of the best pictures I heard this morning was from Joe, the creator of Bluey, saying, wouldn't it be wonderful if we had either Bluey or a character like Bluey as our Olympic mascot? But it's not just about it being the mascot, it's about the whole animated series that would run for a year or two out, drawing people to Queensland and focusing on Queensland. See, that's innovation. That's how people are thinking outside the square. It's not just the purchase merchandise, it's what goes before and then what comes after. I thought that was a good pitch. That was a great pitch then too. So I'm quite open to pitches, and I'm quite sure there's going to be lots of them between now and 2032. So it's good the Treasurer and Minister Sterling are here as well. Okay, so thank you for inviting me to be part of this inaugural 2023 National Tech Summit. When it comes to talking about forging Australia's tech future, Queensland is the place to be. I don't just want Queensland's tech industry to be punching above our weight. I want to support Queensland tech industry to be even better. I want to support our tech companies to be heavyweights in their own right. To the companies here today who don't yet have a presence in Queensland, it's time to start thinking about the opportunities. And if you are thinking about moving to Queensland, please come and talk to us. We have an open door. And I'll just say this one thing. When I just went on a trade mission recently too, the key thing that a lot of investors were saying to me is that our government is so accessible that some companies had met not one, but 2 or 3 ministers. They go to New South Wales and Victoria and they meet with departmental officers. So that's how engaged our government is, and I think that really puts us ahead of the rest. When you look to the future, look to Queensland. As the Tech Council of Australia have identified, South East Queensland is the fastest growing area for tech jobs, with 5 of the top 10 regions across the nation. Over the years, we have developed our research and training in universities to the world class. There are now Queenslanders in major tech companies all around the globe. Through our Queensland's Advanced Queensland policy, we have developed our startup ecosystem and created new tech industries. We have supported some of the people here in this room to stay in Queensland, develop into international success stories. Queensland has now grown to become a place where the world's best talents want to be, and we are bringing our talent back. I share your passion for growing the tech sector because it means high-paying, high-value jobs. And more than that, the tech industry delivers jobs that go beyond economic value in offering the dignity of work. They are jobs that offer our children the ability to achieve their dreams, to have a career, not just to pay the bills, but to change the world and to make a substantial difference. Jobs creating a better future for our state, for our nation and for our planet. When it comes to jobs, Queensland has led the nation out of the pandemic with the strongest jobs growth. Over the next year, Queensland economy is set to grow at twice the rate of the nation. This growth is underpinned by our government's economic plan to create high-value, secure, long-term jobs. In Queensland, we had the previous Smart State strategy to expand research capacity, but our government then built on that with our Advanced Queensland strategy to support the commercialisation of that research into new industries. Under Advanced Queensland, $755 million has been invested into growing new industries in Queensland, an investment that has so far secured $1 billion in matching funding, including investors. Advanced Queensland has now supported over 7,900 businesses and researchers, supporting around 27,000 jobs. That includes early stage support for Tritium, and I want to acknowledge the CEO, Jane Hunter, here today. Tritium is an incredible Queensland success story. a company that is now the second biggest electric vehicle charging manufacturer in the world. It all started from technology developed by a University of Queensland solar car racing team. Tritium even has the backing of the President of the United States. Then there's GoOne. What started with 4 founders in an unair-conditioned basement in Logan, now that would have been tough in Queensland, is now one of the world's largest education content hubs. Vu Tran, one of the co-founders of GoOne and now chief evangelist, actually grew up in my electorate of Inala. Vu is the son of Vietnamese refugees. Like many people in my local community with a migrant background, Vu had the entrepreneurial spirit installed in him early from a young age. That basement, otherwise known as the dungeon, is now the kitchen for a cafe at GoOne's new headquarters. GoOne is now worth around $3 billion and recently purchased leading Germany startup Blinkist. It's fantastic to see Queensland startups buying offshore startups, and thank you to GoOne for being here in Queensland. Our government set up the precinct at Fortitude Valley, which I'm incredibly proud of. We even had a cabinet meeting down there. And for startups including the AI Hub, which some of you will visit tomorrow. We've delivered an ag tech and logistics hub in Toowoomba. We have further developed the Gold Coast Health and Knowledge Precinct. And we are developing new precincts, including the Mackay Ag Tech and Biofutures Precinct, the Townsville Tropical Intelligence and Health Precinct, the Cairns University Hospital Precinct, and the new Translational Manufacturing Institute at Boggo Road. One of the first things I did as Premier, along with Kate Jones as then the Education Minister and Innovation Minister at the time, was to lead the work in Australia in introducing coding and robotics into the school curriculum in Queensland. Back then, some people were questioning what value these skills would have for their children. Now we can see that value, with tech workers' pay being surpassed only by CEOs. As our next step, we will work with industry to improve training pathways to support more girls and young women into the tech industry. If we can do that, we can take big steps towards closing the gender pay gap. Now, much of our success with Advanced Queensland is due to the creation of the role of Queensland's Chief Entrepreneur. Julie Spicer is our 5th Chief Entrepreneur and is doing a great job as a flag bearer for innovation in Queensland. Today I'll outline how we will take Queensland's economy and advance Queensland to the next level. Over the next 4 years, we are investing $19 billion in renewable energy, with the largest expansion of the power grid in Australia and the world's largest pumped hydro dam to store renewable energy. That supergrid will do more than just transmit renewable energy. On top of those transmission lines, there'll be fibre optic cables. To unlock that fibre, we established a government-owned business called the Queensland Capacity Network, or QCN. QCN has already delivered a 12-fold increase in supplied digital capacity across Queensland and a 94% reduction in the cost of capacity to customers. Our government also previously provided $15 million in funding support for the Sunshine Coast International Broadband Network. This 550-kilometre undersea cable connection, combined with the work at QCN, has created a gateway between Queensland's regions and the world for international business, supporting new data centres on the Sunshine Coast in Townsville and Toowoomba. It means industries will be able to connect to the internet in regional areas at the same time, speed and cost as capital cities. QCN are now working with Queensland Rail to look at opportunities to further improve digital connectivity with 2,000 kilometres of optical fibre in the rail network. Combined with the Queensland Energy and Jobs Plan, there is a potential to support access to nearly 20,000 kilometres of fibre to create one of the largest regional fibre networks in the nation. The opportunities for technology businesses in Queensland are transformational. And the pathway to many of these new technologies are through the world-leading research in Queensland in quantum and advanced technologies. Developing compound semiconductors, photonics and quantum technologies with applications across renewable energy, critical minerals, batteries, medicine and defence. That is why today I'm announcing that we will deliver a Queensland Quantum and Advanced Technology Strategy, building on the National Quantum Strategy launched earlier this year. The strategy will be developed in consultation with our universities and industry to build and attract advanced technology businesses providing highly skilled and paid jobs. If we can develop production facilities for these advanced technologies in Queensland, we can commercialise research and IP here instead of seeing it going offshore. If we don't back our startups, they won't stay in Queensland. if we don't back our tech companies to grow, we will miss opportunities to create new key job-creating sectors in our economy. That's why venture capital is so important. Matching investment support for startups to access venture capital funding was one of the first key commitments our government made. It supported companies including Bold Performance, now a sports tech leader, supporting teams across the NRL, AFL, NFL, NBA and English Premier League. And, I hope I get this right, Schedulo, a digital scheduling service that supported vaccine rollouts for the NBA, NFL and US public education system. The investments made here have delivered returns, with the Enterprise Acceleration Fund continuing to support startups. In June, our government has taken the next step with the Treasurer, that's why the Treasurer is here today, in launching $75 million of cornerstone funding for the Queensland Venture Capital Development Fund. The request for proposals for that fund closed last week, and applications from more than 80 venture capital countries and accelerators for over $650 million in funding, with a big focus on biotech, agtech, climate, energy, water and defence. That level of interest shows how far Queensland has come under Advanced Queensland. We are now taking our Advanced Queensland economic plan to the next level by focusing on developing new sectors, including renewables and battery technologies, agtech, biomedical, resource recovery, biofuels, advanced manufacturing including aerospace, space and defence, and creative industries including sports tech and digital gaming. These new sectors build on the traditional strengths and will go further to grow our resources. Now, to support these new sectors, we need places and precincts for innovation ecosystems to grow. So today I'm pleased to launch our $15 million in funding initiatives under our Precincts and Places Fund. And I want to really recognise here Minister Hinchcliffe for the great work that he has been doing, talking to everyone in the industry and making sure that this plan actually aligns with the goals and aspirations of industry. It starts with planning, which is why we have the $4 million Strategic Initiatives Fund. Another $1 million will go to the Innovation Place Leaders Network to work across the precincts, and the $10 million Regional Precincts and Places Infrastructure Fund will support infrastructure in the regions that unlocks new opportunities with our industry partners. So in conclusion, there's no better place to live and grow your business than Queensland. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your ideas. We want to partner with you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact the government or our Directors General. We're more than happy to sit down and have a conversation with you. Our government is undertaking the largest building program in Queensland's history to deliver new hospitals, new schools, housing, transport and energy infrastructure and that our growing state needs. We have the world's best researchers here and universities. We have the digital connectivity to the world. We have a plan to deliver 24-hour renewable energy advanced manufacturing. We have the existing and emerging precincts and the funding to back them to grow. We are backing venture capital and our startups. We support teaching our children how to code, and we want to support more women into the tech workforce. We have the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games to promote Queensland to the world. And when we commit to developing new industries, we deliver. So welcome to Queensland, and I think you'll realise that we do have a very enviable lifestyle here. There is something that is just unique to Queensland, the way in which we interact with people, these beautiful developments like you're sitting in here at Howard Smith Wharves, the beautiful climate, but our best asset is, of course, our people. So, welcome to Queensland, and hope many of you come back. And if you're thinking about moving here, you'll be joining 140,000 other people who moved here over the last financial year. So thank you, have a great day, and welcome to Queensland.